So welcome everybody to this latest video on 162 Maths, and in this video we'll be going over an AQA GCSE Maths Foundation topic test, Basic Algebra 5. Now as always there'll be a copy of the test paper for you to download and have an attempt at by clicking on the link in the description below, which I recommend that you do either before watching this video or while watching this video as we go through the answers. Now, as with all the previous algebra tests, there is no indication about whether these questions are designed for a non-calculator or a calculator paper. So what we'll do is we'll just assume that they are a non-calculator question, so that if it does appear on a calculator paper, we have got the option to use it. So let's get started on question 1. So question 1 says work out the value of this, and we've got a BIDMAS question. So for this, we need to deal with the brackets first. So let's do just that. So here we've got 40 minus, and then 2 plus 3 is 5, so that's 5 squared divided by 5. Then from this we've got to deal with the power, so that's 40 minus 25 divided by 5. Then we do the division, so that's going to be 40 minus 5, which gives us a final answer of 35. Question 2, it says which of these does not give the answer of 18? So again we've got to use a bit of BIDMAS, so that becomes 18 plus 6, 30 minus 18, which is 12, plus 6 is 18, so that one is 18. The next one we've got to do 3 times 2, which is 6, and 6 plus 6 is 12, so that there is the one that's not 18. And then just for good measure, let's just quickly do this, which does in fact give me an answer of 18. Then with question 3, it says simplify. So again, we're multiplying throughout, and it says using index notation basically means using powers. So we've got 2 times 6, which is 12, a times a, which is a squared, and b times b is b cubed. Moving on to question 4, it says that Jean pays for gas, electricity and water every month. Her gas bill is G pounds per month, her electricity bill is £10 more than her gas, and the water bill is half the electricity bill. Write down an expression for the total cost of bills for 1 year. So looking at this, we've got a gas bill which is G pounds, so then electricity is £10 per month more, so that's going to be G plus 10, and then her water bill is half the electricity bill. Well, if electricity bill is G plus 10, we need to divide all of that by 2, which gives us half a G plus 5. Now all we've then got to do is add all these expressions up. So I've got G plus 10 plus half a G plus. So then collecting all our G's together, we've got 2.5 G, so that's 2.5 G, and then plus 10 plus 5, which is 15. Now I could write the answer as 5 over 2G plus 15. It gives me the exact same answer, so any of those would be absolutely fine, as well as flipping the 15 and the 2.5G, or 5 over 2G with the 15 is going to be absolutely fine. Well, so then looking at question 5, it says multiply out. So we've got 3 times 7, which is 21. Then we've got a times a, which is a squared. And we've got 7a times 9. Well, 7 times 9 is 63. We've got a minus in. Moving on to question 6, it says expand and simplify. So what you want to do here for 2 marks is make sure that you've correctly expanded the brackets. Now always make sure that you're going for the second term inside the bracket as well. It's always a common error that students make. And try not to be too lazy with your brackets. Again, takes a couple of seconds but does prevent you from making a mistake. So then 14x plus 24x is 38x. And then 21 plus 36 is going to give me 57. Then with 6b, we're going to multiply the brackets. So we've got 32y minus 24 minus 15y minus 3. And then collecting the like terms, I've got 32 minus 15, which is 17y, and minus 24 minus 3, which is 27. Moving on to question 7, it says fencing needs to go around the school field as shown. Write down the expression for the total length of fencing. Now again, you might think, well, I'm missing a few sides, but if I take this side here and I raise it above to make that red dashed line, then all of this becomes the same as that base, which is 5 lots of f minus 2. Likewise, if I take this side here and put that there, then all of this becomes 4f plus 3 in brackets. Then working out the perimeter of that, well, it's going to be 4f plus 3 plus 5f minus 2 plus 4f plus 3 plus 5f minus 2. And then expanding the brackets out, I get 4f plus 12 plus 5f minus 10 plus 4f plus 12 plus 5n minus 10. And then collecting all the like terms, well, I've got 4 plus 5 plus 4 plus 5 is 18f. I've got 12 minus 10 plus 12 minus 10, which gives me plus 4. Moving on to question 8, we're looking at factorising. So again, we've got numbers in both terms, so we want to take out the highest common term from each of these two. So the becomes the biggest number that goes into both these two numbers is going to be 9. We've got 9, and then it's going to be 3n minus 4 inside the brackets. And then with question 8, again, I've got numbers and I've got letters. So taking out the highest common factor, which is going to be 12. And then from the letters, I want the smallest power of n, which is just a single n. And this is going to be 3n minus 5. Then moving on to question 8c. So again, looking at the numbers, the highest common factor is 10. Going for the smallest power of n, that's going to be n squared. And the smallest power of m, which is m squared. And then just working it through, so that's going to be 3. And the rest is fine, minus 5n. And there we go for that one. Moving on to question 9, it says use one of these words to describe each of the following. So again, an expression is something where you haven't got an equal sign but multiple letters. An equation is where you've got equal sign with one letter. An identity is where you've got those 3 lines. A formula is where you've got equals with more than 2 letters, or more than 1 letter I should say. And an inequality is something that's got an inequality sign. So 9a is an equation. 9b is an identity, and 9c is a formula. Then moving on to question 10, it says write down all the integers that satisfy minus 8, where n is exclusive of minus 1 but inclusive of minus 8. So it's going to be, the correct answer should be minus 8, minus 7, minus 6, minus 5, minus 4, minus 3, minus 2. Then for question 11, it says that John gets paid £300 per week for 35 hours. He gets paid £15 per hour for overtime. Write down a formula of his total wages when he works H hours overtime. So the correct answer you should have is 300 plus 15H. Now you could have 15H plus 300. It's entirely up to you which of those two ones you go for. So moving on to our last question, question 12, it says 280 people attended a summer fair. The total cost of their food was £728. It says that the cost of a hot dog was H pence, beef burgers was 20p more than a hot dog, and ice cream cost twice as much as beef burgers. Each person ate 1 hot dog, 1 beef burger, and 1 ice cream. Write an equation for each of these. Now, the confusing thing about this is, well, not confusing, something you need to be aware of is we've got a mixture of units. Now, I would say it might be best to work with pence or with decimals, and I'll do the solution in both. Let's just split this up and let's just work. So this side will work with pence. So this amount then becomes 728 and then 00 pence. And hot dogs becomes H. Beef burgers then becomes H plus 20. And ice cream costs twice as much, so that's going to be 2 lots of H plus 20. So then looking at the number of people, that's 280. So I've got 280 multiplied by H plus 20 plus 2 lots of H plus 20. And that comes up to a grand total of 72800. Now, if I just neaten up that bracket, I get 280, and then it's going to be H plus 20 plus 2H plus 40, and that equals 72800. So then simplifying the bracket, I get 280, and it's going to be 4h plus 60 equals 72800. So that is the answer if you are working in pence. Now, if you're working in pounds, you'll end up with a very similar answer, but with different units. So here, 20 pence, well, that's still going to be h. This is going to be h plus 0.2, and this is going to be 2 lots of h plus 0.2. And so looking at this, we've got 280 people. That decimal number doesn't change. I've got h plus 0.2 plus, oh, I don't know, I've put that bracket there. Let me get rid of that. Plus, and I'm just going to expand the bracket straight away. So that's going to be 2h plus 0.4, close bracket, and it's going to be 728. So then simplifying the bracket, I get 4h plus 0.6 equals 728, and there is my final answer for the expression for this situation.